Bach, being a sublime composer, he has this wonderful organic way of getting out of A minor and making this wonderful modulation back to... No, it doesn't go that way at all. Bach ends in A minor, and it's like, what am I doing here? Well, I guess I'll just push restart and start over again. And that's exactly what he does. And of course, it's a wonderful moment because it allows us to also push restart and get into this thicket of entries, which have one little interesting thing I need to point out to you, is that the tenor has an entry that's followed by the bass a measure later at the same pitch. Well, isn't that great that you can do that? Wait a minute. You can't do that because you end up with parallel octaves, which it's not so much as a bad thing, it's just kind of a stupid thing. I mean, it's not interesting counterpoint when you do that. So Bach would never do that. So the tenor abandons its subject right here. So it's something I call subterfuge. I've been waiting to get that here somewhere. So we have these statements, and then at this point is the glorious moment that I've just played for you, where the subject, which begins an aborted version in G, but only goes for 4 notes. That's more subterfuge. Finally ends up with the array of C and G and A and D, and finally this cadence in D minor. What's the opposite of the sort of abrupt cadence and restart that we saw over here is this particular cadence, which is as we're cadencing in D, we have these two entrances, a parent and child relationship A to E that is superimposed over the cadence. So as the bass and soprano are giving us the cadence in D, we get this wonderful beginning. Now, up to this point, then we've had all of the pentatonic notes of the pentatonic C. We've had entrances on C, entrances on D, entrances on E, and G, and we've got this one, a couple ones on A. So we've got everything covered except the bad guys in the diatonic set, the F and B, the outside tritone members. And Bach, I guess, was just the kind of person not to leave things that open. So we still have 2 more entrances, or 2 more keys that have to be begun on. Here, this is the entrance on B that begins 3 quarter notes apart. And then the final ending of the piece. This is the plagal cadence. And true to form, you don't use your subdominant key. You don't go to your grandparents' house until you've got your identity is so firmly fixed, you've written a whole piece about yourself. Then you can go and start flirting with F major. And that's where the final moment is. Using those B flats, the flat side components of the spectrum appearing in full glory. And then the final 2 measures having nothing to do with the subject at all, just this tremendous ascension into heaven. So let me I'll play it up to the A minor cadence and we go. And we have the restart. It'd be good to hear the last half of the piece from that point. music, and very different from any other piece I can think of, which is what excites me about all this music. And